How to complete the 2023 Rent Registry form for the City of Los Angeles Housing Department. Who needs to complete this process? Typically, it's properties that are subject to the Rent Stabilization Ordinance, and those are properties which are offered for rent within the City of Los Angeles, 2 or more dwelling units on one parcel, which are issued a certificate of occupancy by or on October 1st, 1978. What is this process? The registration process consists of payment of the annual bill along with completion of this rent registry form. The process is due by February 28th of every year, be that the last day of February. Here we will review how to complete the rent registry form. In the first picture, we have an example of a rent registry form which was included with your annual bill. It is pre-printed with an APN address and statement number. This information will be necessary to have handy when you complete this process. We also have blank forms available for you to download at registerlarent.org. Here you have a view of the data that should be entered into the paper form. You can come back to this to take a look at your preference. Make sure you indicate the APN number at the top of the page of every form if you are completing a paper form. Here we have a list of common questions, and you can come back to peruse at your convenience. One common question we receive has to do with studio units. Number of bedrooms should indicate 0 for single studio unit. This process can be completed online at registerlarent.org. That's registerlarent.org. The same user ID and password information can be used for both payment of the bill as well as completing the rent registry form online. New users will be prompted to create a quick account. The registration process here is very quick. It asks you for a first and last name along with an email and password. Once you're logged in, you can click on the icon to add property. Then you will be prompted to enter data. To begin, you should enter the APN, assessor parcel number, and statement number, which can be located on the pre-printed rent registry form that was mailed out with your annual bill. Indicate the APN and statement number, then identify whether you are the owner or owner's representative, and select Add. Once you're in the portal, you'll have a view of a screen that looks similar to this here. One quadrant has the emergency contact information. That will be followed by the property information, and then RSO bill and payment information. Your different properties will be identified by APN. If you have different properties, they will be reflected on this gray column on the left. They will be identified by APN. Towards the center of your screen, we'll have the rental unit information. To copy the data from the previous year, you first select the APN from this list of properties in this gray column on the left. This will copy rental unit information along with the emergency contact information. And then if needed, you can go back in and edit. The emergency contact information is reflected in this light blue quadrant. You select the button for Add to enter the field. You will be prompted to enter all mandatory fields identified with a red asterisk. Here you'll see the name, address, including zip code, as well as emergency telephone number, contact number are required fields. Although an email address is not required, we do highly recommend it. Click Save. The next thing you want to enter is all the rental unit information for each of the units. You can select Edit or Delete at this point as well. Once you're in the rental unit information, the red mandatory data is indicated by the red asterisk. So the address, including the apartment unit number, monthly rent, number of bedrooms, move-in date, the date of the last rent increase, is parking included, yes or no, and then utility services which are paid by the landlords, and you have a select the drop-down options here, and you can select for electric utility or gas utility, indicate if an exemption is submitted. If you do select that an exemption is submitted, then the rent amount will default to 0. Also, there's the option to select I don't know for those of you that don't know the move-in date or don't know the date of the last rental increase. You want to make sure you save that data. Another option of entering the rental unit information is to use a spreadsheet. This is the CSV spreadsheet. Right under the reddish quadrant for your RSO billing information is a little icon for downloading the Rent Registry CSV sheet. You want to select that, and that will give you something that looks similar to what I see on the screen here, which looks like an Excel sheet, and you can enter the APN and all the same mandatory fields that we reviewed. These mandatory fields here, you enter into your CSV spreadsheet. Then you upload the CSV spreadsheet. We recommend this for properties that are bigger, maybe 10 units or more, but anybody is welcome to use the CSV spreadsheet. Make sure you upload it. Do not upload other records such as rent forms or rent rolls or invoices, other information. You make sure that you want to upload just the CSV spreadsheet because other data will not be processed. It has to be a CSV spreadsheet. You click upload. Voila, the data is entered into the rental unit information, and you want to make sure that your emergency contact information up here in the blue quadrant is accurate. You can also add more properties if the same owner owns multiple parcels. You double check that all the rental unit information in this middle section is accurate, and you want to make sure you provide it for all the rental units at the property. When you have entered all the data for all the different APNs, you can click on Save and Continue. And this is a maximized view here of the button that says Save and Continue. Next, you'll get this message which says Continue to preview the information. You'll be able to preview the information, and also there is an option to print the data for your records. Should you need to go back to edit any information, there are buttons that say Go Back towards the right side at the bottom of the screen. Next, you want to select the checkbox that says that all the information entered is true and correct. And at that point, you can click on Submit. There is a Submit button at the top right, and there's also a Submit button at the bottom right. Now here you want to be sure that all the data is ready and accurate. You will not be able to go back once you select this Submit button. This is a maximized view of how your screen would look when you select the checkbox and click on the Submit button. Once that is done, you can consider the process completed. You will receive a confirmation message to indicate that it is complete. When data is entered online, it is automatically saved for registration in future years. That's one benefit of using this online process. And once you have paid all fees to the LA Housing Department and you've completed the rent registry form, you will receive your RSO certificate, be that the statement of registration. For questions about the rent registry form, you can call us or email us to the number indicated on your screen right now. That number is area code 213-928-9150. That number again is 213-928-9150. Or you can email lahd.rentregistry@lacity.org and make sure you indicate the property APN number. For other questions, you can also use our Ask Housing form at the location indicated on your screen. Thank you so much for your time.